Just ahead on American Black Journal, we'll tell you what to expect as construction gets underway on Woodward Avenue for the M-1 Rail Streetcar. Plus, a major renovation at a Detroit high school is renewing hope for students and for neighbors. We'll hear about the uplifting changes taking place at Cody High. That's all coming up next.
At DTE Energy, we believe that we have a greater responsibility. We believe that being part of a community means being involved in the fabric of that community, investing time, effort, and resources in the communities we serve. DTE Energy Foundation is a proud sponsor of American Black Journal.
Welcome to American Black Journal. I'm Stephen Henderson. Construction begins tomorrow on Detroit's long-awaited M-1 Rail Streetcar Project. It's the first major transit system to be led and funded by a collaboration of private, public, and government entities. The M-1 Rail Streetcar is expected to be up and running in late 2016. It'll travel 3.3 miles on both sides of Woodward Avenue between Larned and West Grand Boulevard. The route passes through downtown, Midtown, and New Center. M-1 Rail officials expect about 6,000 riders to use the transit system each day during the first year of operation. Joining me now is the project's Director of External Relations, Summer Woods, along with a member of the M-1 Rail Community Advisory Council, Kalia Burt-Gaston, who is the Executive Director of Vanguard Community Development Corporation. Welcome to American Black Journal. I am not going to give you too much business about this, but I've been hearing that construction is going to start on this project for 6 years. I don't think I believe you until I go out Monday morning and see the pylons and stuff.
And you can come out. You're going to be there. So no, it is actually happening. It's finally happening. Matt Cullen and I were just laughing about this the other day, that it has been 7 years in the making.
Yeah.
And when you have a similar project like this, because it's the first of any kind and different partnerships with the federal government, the state, and the city, it takes a little bit longer, but we're making it happen. So it is going to happen. Construction starts on the 28th.
Yeah, and it starts with just a segment of the route. I mean, we're not closing all of Woodward.
Correct.
From Larned to Grand Boulevard, where it's just that lower part, right?
So the first part that is going to take place is just from north of Campus Marshes just to Adams, and so that's right by Grand Circus Park.
Right.
So we do want to make sure that people are very aware that it's not the entire corridor and kind of get nervous.
Right.
Especially as we have our businesses in Midtown and North End and New Center. So it's going to be for about 4 months, 120 days, but all the cross streets will be open, so people can still cross over Woodward, as well as the pedestrian walkways will be open.
Yeah, and the construction that they're doing now, I mean, they're going to close this. When they're done, will the rails and the stations all be there?
So when we're done, we're going to be done before Thanksgiving, so Santa can come down with
He can ride the light rail.
He can ride absolutely. So we are going to be done by Thanksgiving, so we don't impede on the parade.
Right.
And when it is done, there will be rail.
Right, you won't have to come back to that section.
No.
Again, it's just then a matter of building.
So the only thing that we'll have to do is we'll come back and we call it our vertical work, where we put the stations up.
I see.
Yeah, but in Campus Marshes,
stations, right.
absolutely. But Campus Marshes, we do have to come back because there's a specialty track around the actual park.
Yeah. Well, I sort of wondered how that's going to work. It comes down and it'll have to go around,
Correct.
I guess, on either side.
Yes. So
that we don't mess that up.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So there's going to have to be we'll have to come back in 2015 to finish that up.
Yeah. So what are you telling the people in this community? I mean, I live in that neighborhood, by the way, so I'm not looking forward to the disruption. But I get, this is the kind of infrastructure we need. What are you telling people about how they should navigate this? What are you telling businesses about how they should survive that 4 months when maybe foot traffic is not as good as it is?
There's a lot of wonderful initiatives, really, I think going to be implemented to support small businesses. And so I know Sue Mosey is working with M-1 Rail and small businesses to make sure that there are parking alternatives, that there are special events that will, assist and help to draw businesses and, residents together in the corridor as the construction is going on. And I mean, just being a part of, the advisory council, we've heard a lot from residents, we've heard a lot from small businesses, and then other major stakeholders who are along that Woodward Avenue corridor. And I think the biggest thing is people wanting to make sure that it actually was going to happen. And so with construction starting really, on Monday, I think now people will want to know and pay more attention to street closures and the zones and the timing of the construction, because now it's real and their life may be, impacted in some way, when before it was, people still thought it was a pipe dream.
Right, right. And so, I mean, will you be able to cross the street on foot?
Yes.
During this? They're not going to close it off entirely.
Correct. I mean, we want to make sure that it's still accessibility for the businesses. We know that foot traffic is important.
Right.
I mean, we went all the way down to even in terms of the barricades that we're using. We're not using tall fence barricades to block signs. We're using bike racks so that you can actually see the viability and all of those things. So that was important as we went through the process.
Yeah, yeah. And the businesses, no one's closing because of this. No one is saying that they can't deal with this. I mean, everybody is sort of anticipating it. And then, of course, on the back end, we'll have a train, which it's not the most effective transit that I've ever seen, but this is going to make a big difference in that corridor.
Because it's a bigger conversation as it relates to just regional transit and getting us to think differently about transportation. And it's not just transportation, but it's also an economic development.
It's development, right.
And, I know, especially with Kalia is doing in Vanguard and in other CDCs along the corridor, it is important. It is critical as it relates to just how development is being done, that people look at those stops and what's taking place as well.
Right. This is a big step in development, but all along that route, you've got a lot of other stuff sort of coming online that will help feed, I think, the development that the rail will bring.
Yeah, I mean, this is, not only a game changer for Midtown and, New Center, but this is a game changer for the North End. I mean, this is a neighborhood, historically, that has suffered about 50 years of disinvestment. And just with the announcement and the impending construction, we have about 200 units of housing in pre-development. And so we're seeing developers from New York, Boston, who are interested in investing in the North End.
In the North End.
In the North End, east of Woodward, not west of Woodward, east of Woodward, and so we all know about those east-west divisions.
Yeah.
So it's really Vanguard's job and really my job to advocate for as much investment east of Woodward. And so, there are a number of philanthropic partners that have been at the table and, remain committed to really revitalizing the North End. So this is big.
And so tell me about some of the things that they're thinking about there. I mean, that's a neighborhood that over, 20, 25 years has really emptied out, dramatically, but still has a strong community. I mean, I've always been impressed that despite the numbers, the people who still live there are very active. They're very cooperative. I mean, they're working together. What are the things, though, that it's not going to be, as densely populated as it was before? So what's the vision for that area of the city?
Yeah, well, I think there are a couple of things. The North End really represents the spectrum that we see all across the city. I mean, we have the area south of East Grand Boulevard, which is, very much situated for loft development. The area actually that we lost the most population is closest to East Grand Boulevard, which matches perfectly with transit-oriented development. And the neighborhood is only about 30% vacant, so it's considered a moderately vacant neighborhood. And so with those market forces coming, we know that there'll be new housing, there'll also be homesteading, because we do have to deal with the vacant land in the neighborhood. Just this past year, we launched an owner-occupied rehab program with support from the Kresge Foundation. And so the purpose of that was to provide resources, 50% loan, 50% grant, for homeowners to make external repairs to their homes. And so, that is the type of revitalization really that needs to take place block by block. So you gotta deal with everything. You gotta do new construction, you gotta deal with vacant land, you gotta deal with, stabilizing the existing housing stock, which rivals anything else in the city.
Right. And that investment, that external investment is what we didn't see for so long, not just in North End, but throughout the city. And now I hear that the New York Times is going to spend a whole year in the North End. I don't know if that's good or bad, right?
Yes. You know, John Elegant, you know, is the reporter, and Vince Keenan in the mayor's office made that connection for us. And so it's a big opportunity. You know, I've been very vocal with John to tell him that we don't want the same old story, you know, about the North End, because it is a neighborhood, as someone close to me said, has been the stepchild of the Woodward Corridor for a long time. And so we want to definitely show the challenges, but then we also want to talk about the promise in the neighborhood and use this as an advocacy tool to say, pay attention to us, invest, because now's the time is right.
Right. Right, and it's really up and down this 3.3 mile stretch. It's the stations that you feel like are going to make the sort of development difference, and that's why there are so many. I mean,
correct.
There's I can't remember what the
we
number
have 20
is.
stations.
20 stations. That's a lot along 3 miles, but that's because you're trying to get people they become hubs, right?
Absolutely, and we've seen it in other cities. Even before Tucson, they're getting ready to open up their streetcar, and they've had 140 businesses to come to their corridor.
Is that
a lot of them were around stations, and so that is the reason. It does create walkability, and that's what was critical for us as we looked at that from a transit-oriented development.
Yeah. So late 2016, I'm going to be able to get on this thing and ride up and down.
Absolutely.
That's too long. I need it now.
You know, the interesting thing is that we're moving very aggressively. I mean, we have a very aggressive schedule because our goal is to get in and out so we don't give too many headaches, as you were saying, but we know it's going to be a little bit of pain for really a long-term gain. Right. And that's what our goal is to get in and out. So it's an aggressive schedule. Right. It is a very aggressive schedule.
Yeah.
But
and it's going to go on the side of the road, not in the middle, correct?
So when the most southern terminus by Larned, it is center running, and then it goes to curb running all the way down to, you get to 94. Okay. And then it goes center running for those last three.
So what's the reason for the difference there?
Well, a lot of it is just in terms of going under the viaduct for 94. Okay. You have a lot of this, Woodward is not very leveled. That's a part of it, which is a major part of it. People always think but it's not leveled. So that played a role in it as well. So. Okay.
And the parade, of course, my friends over there would be very angry if I didn't ask that there's no disruption to the parade because of the construction.
And, so we're going to work fast and make sure, but we're also working with Tony Michaels at the parade company that if something happens, we need to move some barrels, we'll do that. But even long term, we took that into consideration as it relates to the track and how it relates to just all the wiring with the balloons and floats as well.
Right. Mm-hmm. It's a difference, right?
Absolutely, it is. All
right, well, we'll see Monday morning if I can't cross Woodward to get on the other side of the car.
And you have to make sure that you go online, and when you go online to our website, we have an update interactive map that's going to give a play-by-play of what the construction is. Absolutely, so where people can plan ahead. So you can always call me. Yeah,
that's right.
We'll move some barrels for you, Steve.
All right.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, this is exciting. Good to have you guys here.
Thanks for having us.
Yep. Just ahead on American Black Journal, a major transformation is taking place in and around Detroit's Cody High School. That story's next, right after this look at some important moments in Detroit's Black history.
I'm Ken Coleman with a look back at African American life in Detroit. This week in 1950, Charles Jones became the first black man to serve as judge in Michigan. In 1967, funeral services were held for 4-year-old Tanya Blanding. She was one of 43 people who died during the 7-day civil disturbance. And in 1974, Ron LaFleur debuted for the Detroit Tigers. These are significant events this week in Detroit's Black history, taken from the book On This Day, African American Life in Detroit.
The nonprofit organization Life Remodeled has set out to change the landscape of Detroit one school and one neighborhood at a time. This summer, the group is remodeling Cody High School and removing blight from the surrounding community. Thousands of volunteers and donors are pitching in to transform the learning and living environment for Cody students. Classrooms are being renovated, the school grounds are getting cleaned up, and construction has begun on a new football field. Today, I'm pleased to welcome the founder and president of Life Remodeled, Chris Lambert, along with Kenyatta Campbell, Executive Director of the Cody Rouge Community Action Alliance, and Jonathan Matthews, the Principal at Cody Academy of Public Leadership. Thanks for being here. I should say up front that I remember being invited to come see Cody, I think in the fall of, or maybe the spring of 2007 or 8, after the first year that it had changed into 4 small academies. And I remember standing there and listening to the students talking about the changes then and thinking, boy, if I come back here in 4 or 5 or 6 years, this is really going to be something to see. It seems like you know, your work is a testament to that, right?
No, our work is not a testament to that. Our work in Cody is a result.
It's a result of that.
Of what great principals like
Right.
Mr. Matthews and great leaders like Kenyatta Campbell have
Right.
been doing in the community for years. And that's why we chose to come to Cody, because there's still significant need, but there's radical hope.
But there's all this sort of activity, right? I mean, there's all this cooperation and momentum that they've built up, making it a different place.
Exactly, yeah. So the momentum's there, and we believe that the work that we're going to do this summer, the work we've already done, the work we're doing now, the work that we're about to do, and the work that we'll continue to do is really going to be a game changer, building on that incredible momentum that already exists.
Right, right. And so your program is about changing the physical environment over there, right? Like just sort of turning over the apple cart and saying, let's make this feel like a different place.
Yeah, physical is a big part of what we do.
Yeah.
So major renovations to Cody High School, brand new football field, major transformation in and around the Cody Rouge area, over 100 blocks, remodeling homes, knocking down houses, boarding up houses.
Right, right. And Kenyatta, I know how long you've been involved in this. This has gotta feel like real progress.
Yes, I'm very excited. I mean, it's being a resident of the community and also a graduate of Cody High School.
Right.
It's an honor to really be a part of the project. You know, we started the work back in 2007 with the Good Neighborhoods Initiative with the Skillman Foundation.
Right.
Really just listened to the community to find out exactly what they wanted to see in the community, and we were able to develop those goals and action plans and Life Remodel. This is a result of some of the work that we've been able to build up to so that we're ready for transformation, and I believe we're ready now.
Right. Jonathan, I remember talking with you about those first couple of years and how sort of rough it was to make that turn. But the things I hear about Cody now suggest that you really made it and you're moving forward.
Yeah, the word "made it," we still have progress.
Yeah,
to go.
right.
Yeah.
No one says that, right?
But the key is that you see progress, and I think progress produces hope. I mean, I think 5 years ago, Cody was known for 7 kids getting shot at a bus stop.
Right.
You know?
Right.
And, when you look now, there's a pride that young people have about saying they go to Cody. They know that their test scores are going up. They know that we're at almost at the 80% graduation rate. We know that students are going to colleges, major colleges. That culture it's produced pride, and it's helped them respect their neighborhood and want to make changes in their neighborhood. And I think Life Remodeled coming in, they see that their efforts and their ability to change is noticed. And I think that's what's great about this whole initiative.
Right, right. How did you pick Cody?
So what we did was we went to Detroit Public Schools, and first we proposed this idea to them that we wanted to remodel a school and remodel the surrounding neighborhood, and we said, you choose 4 schools for us, we'll choose one of them, but we have some criteria. It's about a page long, but really it boils down to 2 simple words.
Yeah.
Need and hope.
Okay.
So we need to choose a community that has significant need, but also radical hope. And I want to say this, I don't believe any neighborhood in Detroit is hopeless, but what I do believe is many neighborhoods have not yet come to realize the hope that they have.
What they have, right, right. That's a great way to see that.
And when we found Cody Rouge, this is the story that we discovered. Cody Rouge has the 2nd highest concentration of kids in the entire city of Detroit, but it also has one of the highest violent crime rates of crimes committed against kids. We learned about the graduation rates being under 40% 5 years ago and then climbing to around 80% now. And then we also learned about Black family development mobilizing over 140 block clubs. We learned about Kenyatta Campbell, the Skillman Foundation, and how there'd already been blight removal efforts in the past where the residents have been engaged, because one of our mantras is we don't serve neighborhoods, we serve with neighborhoods.
Right. Right, so, and that's a very big difference, that idea of coming in and working with the people who live there and are already working there, as opposed to coming in and saying, here's what I could do for you, for instance.
Right, we're here to learn, and we're here to help, and we're here, so you said, physical transformation is right, that's a big part of what we do, but relational transformation is a big part of what we do. And lives in Detroit aren't the only ones getting remodeled. My life gets remodeled. Our volunteers from the city and the suburb, we all experience a life remodeling because we're learning to come together, to work together. We're learning about new people and new stories. Our horizons are expanding, our hearts are growing, and it's just an amazing experience all around.
Yeah. And how are you funding this?
That's a great question. So,
I was gonna say, seems like a little bit of money would be involved.
That's why we're here today. If you're listening, you know, what we've been best at is getting donations that are in kind of labor and materials. So in the school, we are building a STEM lab, a leadership lab. Principal Matthews is really excited about that. We're building a medical lab. We're doing major roof renovations. We're changing the facade of the front of the school with landscaping, and all of that is through in-kind donations.
Is it really? Wow.
Now the football field, we've got a lot of in-kind donations, but here's the deal. We're still $309,000 short, but we've decided to go forward anyway on faith and confidence.
That you'll get the money.
It'll be there.
Yeah. I'm wondering, Kenyatta and Jonathan, the model, the academic model there was to break up the big Cody High School and make 4 academies, and that's not the way that we always do things in Detroit. I mean, it was a pretty radical idea. How is that affecting the environment in the school? How is it affecting the academic performance? Is it still working?
Oh, well, I guess I'll speak to that. It's been, you know, when I first got to Cody, you know, you had the issue of safety and you had the issue of academic performance. The academic, in both categories, we've had dramatic improvement.
Yeah.
When you look at safety issues right now, Cody, in terms of student code violations, I mean, they've dropped to the point where they're almost not significant. And I think Chris walking in and being in the building throughout the course of the year cannot imagine. I mean, sometimes we tell him stories about Cody and he's like, I couldn't imagine that being here. So that was the first phase in terms of creating a culture where students felt like they had a family.
Right.
The school's set up like a neighborhood and they own it. On academic performance, we saw huge increases on the ACT. We have, the biggest issue was that we're starting at such a low level.
Right.
So we still have work to do to get everyone college ready, but we've made a lot of progress.
Yeah. And I remember that one of the big issues at the school before was attendance, and that the truancy would lead to dropouts, and that one of the things you guys did was pair first-year students up with adults in the building to make sure you come to school every day.
And also, one of the things we were able to do is kind of develop a collaborative with different principals within the neighborhood, both Cody Rouge and Brightmoor. So we've been able to ensure that we provide, you know, safe passages for the children as they travel to and from school. We have Brothers Patrol that's out there patrolling, making sure that the children are safe. A lot of times kids weren't coming to school or were late for school because of the same issues. But we've been able to really develop that cohesiveness with different partners to really make sure that we're providing that support on the community side for our children.
Yeah. So the new football field, that's a big deal.
Yes.
We don't get new football fields in schools in Detroit. The kids have to be really excited about that.
They're excited.
Yeah,
They're excited.
I think when you look at the football field, it's the ultimate symbol of school and community.
Pride,
seeing people come out, you know, from their homes and standing at that field and watch a game, that's something that every neighborhood should have again. And it's going to make a tremendous difference, not just on the school, but for the neighborhood as a whole.
Right.
And the alumni, we're very excited.
Yeah,
very excited. We're very excited about it because we haven't been able to come out to, you know, home games in about 7 years now.
Yeah.
So we're excited. So
Wow.
very excited.
So what other communities are you looking at this kind of model?
So actually, we have just made a strategic change. In the past, we were planning to do one neighborhood a year.
Okay.
We thought we were going to move to another neighborhood after this project was over, but actually we've decided that we're going to stay at Cody for another year.
Okay.
There's several projects we'd like to complete that we're not able to complete right now, and our relationships are just now really starting to form and go deep, so we've got a lot of plans for increasing our involvement in helping with academic and economic improvement. But as far as where we're going next, I can't give that information out yet because we haven't decided. But it will again be in line with
It'll be around a school.
Around a school, a community with need and hope, and here's what I believe. Cody Rouge is already a beacon of hope to the rest of the city of Detroit.
Right.
After this year, that light is going to shine even brighter than ever, and we're going to see many communities around Detroit that are even going to be inspired to do this kind of work on their own without a life remodeled ever even stepping foot.
Right, so you feel like other people will just sort of take it upon themselves to do this kind of thing.
I believe so, and people already are doing it. But what we're seeing is that now when all these groups come together that don't normally work together, we can get so much more done together.
Right.
So I know there's already amazing work being done all over Detroit. That's been one of the greatest joys for me to learn about. But if we can continue to bring all these different types of groups and organizations and businesses and churches together and focus holistically on one neighborhood at a time, amazing transformation can take place.
Yeah. And you have to be seeing that in the neighborhood, just in terms of the way people feel.
Definitely. We have the faith community is involved. Our youth council have been really active working with all of the nonprofit organizations. So pretty much everyone is on board. We've been able to, and that's one of the things I respect about Life Remodel. When they first entered into the community, they came without a plan.
Right.
They came to plan with the community. And
to ask what people want.
Exactly, to ask what, and we were able to build upon that. So it was a respect. So we really appreciate that they were able to come and work alongside with the community.
Yeah. Now we just need to get the city to do its job, right?
But we have a really good working relationship with the city of Detroit now too, so that's been helpful.
Yeah.
Especially as it relates to eliminate some of the blight in the area.
The blight. That's
right.
yeah. All right. Well, this is exciting. Thank you guys for being here.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
That's our program for today. Thanks for watching. You can get more information about our guests at AmericanBlackJournal.org. And as always, connect with us on Facebook and on Twitter. We'll see you next time on American Black Journal.
At DTE Energy, we believe that we have a greater responsibility. We believe that being part of a community means being involved in the fabric of that community, investing time, effort, and resources in the communities we serve. DTE Energy Foundation is a proud sponsor of American Black Journal.